If a student is accused of academic dishonesty, how can they make an appeal?
Well, if a student is accused of academic dishonesty, several things can happen. Faculty can deal with the matter through applying a grade penalty, and if that is not reported to my office and the student wants to appeal it, the student can use the academic grievance and grade appeals procedures to appeal the grade. If the matter is reported to my office, then presumably through my own independent review of the accusation, the student is in essence being accorded a review of the matter independently by my office, the Dean of Students.
Okay. If a student is kicked out, how can he or she get back in?
Okay. There are several forms of discipline that are available to us in the CSU. Getting kicked out or essentially expelled from the university is the most severe sanction. It is rarely the first sanction that is imposed. Our philosophy is to use the discipline process in an educational way, which means that with a first infraction, typically our objective is to make sure the student understands the policy area that's been violated, that they understand what contributed to it, and they have a sense of how they can go about avoiding that behavior in the future. And students in that framework are warned or placed on a probationary status. For repeated behavior, a student might be suspended for a period of time, and for even more egregious behavior or repeated behavior, the student can in fact be expelled from the institution. A student who's expelled from Cal State Northridge is essentially expelled from every campus in the California State University system, and there is no return from that sanction. For suspensions, if a student is suspended, then they are permitted to come back to the CSU or to Cal State Northridge after the suspension has concluded. Now, in imposing a disciplinary sanction, any of those things that I referred to, there's a process of the student meeting with me, and in the context of that meeting, the student is able to express their objection to the accusation, and if they have evidence that demonstrates that they didn't commit the behavior, then the sanction will not be imposed, or they won't be disciplined for it. But if in fact there's a disagreement between the university and the student about the alleged misconduct, the student can in fact request a formal hearing before a hearing officer, who then makes an independent decision about the matter.
And there was something about a letter that came from the Assistant Vice President of Student Affairs.
Yeah.
Can you explain something about the letter?
Yeah, the more common response in the area of academic dishonesty on a first offense, let's say a student cheats, or more commonly today commits plagiarism. That the most common disciplinary infraction across the country today is internet plagiarism. Mm-hmm. And so typically for a first offense, the student is going to receive at least at Northridge, a formal letter of admonishment. Mm-hmm. And if in fact there is not a subsequent incident of that kind of behavior, that letter will remain on file for a period of time, after which that letter is destroyed. But if there is a subsequent infraction, then of course the first issue compounded by the second issue, and then there's a more severe response that follows.
Okay, I think that's good, because that's long.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.